Hi all, welcome to episode 4 of the SWR Darts Coaching Podcast. My name's Sean, and it's been a few weeks since we last did an episode. I've been coaching quite a fair bit over the last couple of weeks, so in this episode I'm going to go over what we've coached, who we've worked with. We're not going to give away any names obviously, but we're going to go over what we've worked with them players, what we've been focusing on in them games as well, and what, I get asked quite a fair bit. Talking about this week's practice game that we've just put live on our Facebook page. So you can head over and have a look at that. And also talk about the common answers I get to the most common question I ask at the start of my coaching sessions with players. And I just want to see what you would say if you came along to a session and whether it would be the same as well. Okay, so we've had some really good players come up to us over these past couple of weeks. We've had the regular players that have been to us who've booked in for like block bookings, 4 weeks in an 8-week course, if you will. And what we do in them sessions is we go over a lot of the biomechanics at the start of the coaching block, but we eventually move into where we're working with them on practice games. We work with them on more understanding of the board, so strategy and where you want to play. We worked with a player last week, and one of the questions that I asked, is what do you feel that one of the areas you could really look to improve on? And the answer back was, checkouts and building up to checkouts. And we played a couple of various games which would help them with what I call know your mess ups. So them situations whereby when you throw your first dart when you're going to build up for a checkout and you hit the wrong segment. So for instance, if you're going for 19 and you hit the 7 segments, what your next dart would be to build the percentage of getting to the double. Could you still focus on going to the double that you wanted to go to? I remember there was a famous quote. Well, I say famous, probably isn't famous, but there was a quote a while ago that players, when they're coming up to take out a checkout, let's say you're aiming to finish that checkout on double 12, for instance, and your first dart messes up, try and make that second dart to get as close if you can to finishing on the double that you were looking to finish on, because your mindset's already in the process of, I'm going for double 12 here. How can I get to double 12, despite the fact that my first dart's probably messed up? How am I getting there? So we worked on a few checkout routines to get there. One that I really enjoy, to be fair, which is on our website. And the website is swrdartscoaching.co.uk. But on there, if you click on the practices, it's darts practice number 6, which is checkout ranges. So this is a really, really good one. And what you do is, and what we did with this particular player is, we started on 50. So they've got to check out 50. You can alter this to how you want to play it. But you're going for 50. If you get the 50, you go up by 2 scores. You've got 3 darts to take it out. If you get it, you go up by 2 scores. If they didn't get it, they go down by just 1 score. But the beauty of doing these type of practices as well is that you tend to find that you move around. You'll drop down maybe 1, you'll drop up 2, etc. You'll see a couple of numbers that are more regular, but it gets you into that mindset of, if you're going for 50, and yeah, you could go for the bull, but if you're going for 50 and you've gone, right, I'm an 18s player, so I'm going to go for 14 for double 18, and you throw that first dart and it's very wide of the 14s, let's say it's in the 9, leaving you 41. You've then got that straight away feeling of, right, what am I going for now to get to where I want to go? Whichever way you want to go, it might be a 1 tops, who knows? But the way these practices work is that it builds up that little bit of memory for you of, oh yeah, last time I remember when I did this practice, I hit the 9, which left me 41, and I went 1 for tops. And it just builds that little bit of memory, that little bit of checkout memory that we do need in this game. There's no doubt about that. We do need the checkout memory at times. So yeah, that's a great one. And obviously, like I said, it's on the website, darts practice number 6. But yeah, we worked on that with a player, and they found that very helpful. Done a lot of the JDC this week as well. So obviously, as some will know, I run a darts academy for juniors, affiliated with the JDC. And, I've been using the JDC with a lot of the players that have come to me for coaching this past couple of weeks as well. And I think it does surprise me sometimes, the amount of people that don't know of that routine. And when they finish that routine, they go, "Oh, that's really good." We're focusing a lot on the areas that we want to focus on. I think the doubles round is the big key for me with JDC. So those who might not be aware listening to this of the JDC routine, head over to YouTube and type in JDC. It's also on our website. It's also on my academy have their website, which is dartsandstoke.co.uk. You can head over there and you can find out all the information. But the JDC is based; it's cut down into 3 segments. So round 1, if you will, or segment 1 is where we throw from 10 round to 15. We score what we hit. So if we're going for 10s and we hit one single 10 and the other 2 don't hit the 10 section, we just score 10 points. The ultimate aim of what you're going for is to get a Shanghai, so treble, single, double. When you get a Shanghai, it gives you a bonus of 100 points. So we're always looking to get them Shanghais, but it's focusing on just getting 3 darts into the bed, 3 darts into the area we're targeting. Then in the middle round, we do the doubles. So you get 1 dart on each double, 1, 2, and 3 in that order, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, etc. You get 50 points per double, but it's only 1 dart at a double, so it's very much match scenario in a way, if you think, that pressure match scenario of just having 1 dart at a double. Like a practice like Bob's 27, whereby you throw all 3 darts at that 1 double. Bob's 27, by the way, is a fantastic practice. Once you've done the doubles round, you finish on the ball's worth 100 points. You go back and you go 15 round of 20. And I think it's just a fantastic routine. And we use a lot of the areas of the board that you'd expect to use in games. And like I say, we've used that quite a lot with players of all ages. We had a gentleman come up to us from the south, from the southeast. And he was passing by for work and he called in and booked a session with me. And we did the JDC with him, and he thought it was phenomenal. He wanted me to write it down so he could take it away. And I was like, no, here's the link, go have a look at it. And he's been in touch with me since and said how well he's enjoyed doing the JDC routine. So I think if you're looking for a practice, obviously, like I say, we show loads on our website, but have a look at the JDC. It's something that I think is underrated in the darts practice game, but really can help bring your game on. While we're talking about practices, obviously, I thought, we might as well mention what this week's darts practice was. So this week's darts practice that I put up is number 80. It should be live on the website when this episode goes out. An interesting game. I think there's a variation of this on the site, and I saw a variation of this online as well. But the way I play the game is you've got 50 points. You've got to get to 50 points, sorry. It's not you've got 50. You've got to get to 50 points to win the game. We basically are aiming at the bull. So your first start, you 3 darts in hand, visit to the hockey. You throw your darts at the bull. So you throw your first dart at the bull. If you get the bull, you get 10 points. You just take your dart out, next visit. However, the way I play this game is that I give myself more opportunities to get points away from the bull. So if I was to hit the outer bull, the green part, the 25, 2 darts left in hand, I've got to take out the 25. So I've got to check out 25. I've got to finish on a double. And if I do that, I get 5 points. So I'm still allowing myself some points. If I don't get it, if I don't check it out, I come back up with a straight visit of going straight for 50 again, for the bull. But the way I also do this is if you throw and you hit single 11. Now, single 11 is just the example I use here. We've still got 2 darts in hand. So I've given 2 options still for scoring some points here. So you can throw 2 more darts at single 11. And as long as you get 3 darts in that section, in the single section, large or small, okay, you get 2 points. But like I've just been talking about the JDC, if you hit the treble and the double, so you'll then have had the single hit when you miss the bull, you've got the treble hit, the double hit, give yourself 5 points. So you're still getting some points, still getting some reward. Obviously, if you fail to hit 3 in the 11 or you fail to hit the Shanghai, you don't get any points. So you start 0, if you were starting the game out and that was your first dart. But the aim is to get 50 points. Now, in theory, 5 visits, bull, first dart each visit, and you've completed the game. Fantastic if you can do that. Wonderful. Variations of this game could obviously be thrown in where you can also take points away if you don't get any points. But I think for a lot of players, for me, let's not take the points away. But you can build variations like that if you want to. But for now, just go with the way of if you hit the ball first dart, 10 points towards your 50. Whatever else you hit, if it's 25, you've got to take out 25. And if it's a single number, you've got to look to either put 3 in that single bed or go for a Shanghai. But that's practice number 80. It's on the Facebook page. Went live this morning due to the fact that I was away yesterday. And obviously it's on the website as well. So check that out. That's practice routine number 80 on SWR Darts Coaching. So another little thing I just want to touch on towards the end here. Those that probably know me a little bit, I don't tend to play a lot anymore. I enjoy the coaching with the kids at the academy. I enjoy the coaching with the players that come to us and put their time and trust in myself to help their game. But in regards to actually playing, it's something I need to get out doing more of. And this past weekend, I have joined a Super League. It's something I said I was going to do. And I have joined a Super League team and went to the opening game. And my word was I a little bit unfocused on arrival, but my word was I focused when I played. Fantastic setup. I won't mention the team or the games in the league, etc. But focusing, and when you go into a game, being relaxed, comfortable. These are all things that I coach, and I was trying to put into my own practice. Granted, I lost 4-0. I will not stand here and say I was phenomenal, but my scoring was really good. A lot of the focus on what I play and what I coach, that was really good. Unfortunately, not as many tons and ton 40s as my opponent. My opponent finished in 17, 19, 18 and 21 darts. But the nice side for myself was I was left on a finish in each leg as well. So I was really comfortable with that. But I've said to many people before in the past, whenever you play a game, take something away from it. Find a positive. But also, if there is a negative in that, don't look at it as a negative. Look at it as something that you could turn into a positive. What part of that game do you feel you could take away and just work on a little bit? And for myself last in the game, it was the fact that I hit a lot of 60s. I hit quite a lot of 60s. So in the first leg I hit 1, second leg I hit 3, third leg I hit 1, and the fourth leg I went 60, 60, 60, 45, 60, 60. And my opponent went 40, 100, 59, 92, 140, 54, 16 in 3. So for me, it's noticing that I'm comfortable. I'm hitting the 60s quite nicely, but I was a little bit high on the top line of the treble. So I know I just need to sort of tweak a little bit with the power, just to sort of get that dart, just to come down that couple mil, hopefully into the treble. But, I'm also one of them players, I don't really focus on a lot of warm-up before a game. I encourage it, but for me, I don't always feel it benefits me. I remember speaking to someone once and they told me that whatever darts we hit in a warm-up make us feel that, we're going to go out there and smash it. And then when we go up there in our first 9 and nowhere near what the warm-up darts were, we start over-analysing what's gone wrong between the warm-up and the match. And I am that, I go through a little warm-up routine. I don't really overly focus on trying to hit the treble. I play like a bow tie. I try to hit over a certain score. And then depending on, how I feel at the time, I either try and hit loop 8 or just to check out 32. Bit random, but I only like the 9 darts. That's normally what I aim at. But yeah, obviously it is about getting out there and playing more darts, playing more experienced match darts. And I think, joining the Super League is a big challenge. But it's, for those players that are out there that maybe think to themselves, I don't know if I want to join a league. I don't know if I've got it in me. Super League might be, just a touch higher echelon for you at the moment, perhaps, if that's how you feel. But do just go out there and just try and get into a league somewhere, join a team. The benefits for you are massive, and for your game will be fantastic. Like I say, it can be daunting as well. I always remember the first time I turned up to play for a new darts team, it was very daunting. But, it's enjoyable. So don't feel that, I'm not going to be able to do it. People will be like that. You've got that. But if you join a good team with good players, they'll accept you, they'll help you. And again, that's what I'm here for, and other coaches across the UK are here for. We're here to sort of help players get into the game and improve their game where they can. So yeah, if you are on the edge of whether you go and play a game of darts and join a team or join a league, go take the plunge, I suppose. Go take the plunge, take the step. Step up to the hockey and have a go and see how you feel about it. So the last part of this podcast, because I know it's going on a touch now, is the common answers I get when I start a coaching session. So I normally ask players, what are you looking to focus on or improve on in this coaching session? What are the main areas you want to focus and improve on? And I get one common answer all the time. Consistency. It's the most common answer I ever get. I want to be consistent. I want to be consistently hitting the trebles. I want to be consistently hitting 3 in the 20 section. I want to consistently be hitting that first double. It's achievable. Of course it's achievable. But it's only achievable via practice. It's also achievable from playing a lot, but it's achievable more from practice. I had a player come to us. They've been to us for 4 sessions now. They're on an 8-week course. And between sessions 3 and 4, I noticed on session 4 that the game just wasn't picking up any. So I said, what have you been practicing this past week? Have you been using the routines, the schedules that I gave to you? And they turned around and said, no, I don't practice because I haven't got a board at home. Okay, so where do you practice then? In between coming to me and playing in your league, where do you practice? I don't. Now, for me, the only way you're going to get consistent is by doing the practice, by playing. They play one night a week, but they don't practice any other time. You're not going to get the consistency that you desire, that you're after. And I think this is a big problem when players come and they say, I want to be more consistent. Are you putting the time and the drive in to get there? I always talk back to about David Beckham when England qualified. I think it was for Japan. I can't remember now. But I remember that David Beckham, the night before, was consistently practicing his free kicks. He was consistently trying to get that ball, bend over a wall and go into the top corner. He was practicing it. Come the match day, the situation came up where it was around the same spot where he'd been practicing. And of course, history was made and Beckham sent us through. And I think that just goes to prove that you need to put the practice in to get what you want out of a game and achieve what you're looking to get out of the game. So yeah, the common answer is, I won't be consistent. The other sort of, common answers I get is to just enjoy the game. I did get that a few times, enjoy the game more. I'm frustrated with my game. I ask why you're frustrated with the game. And the answer is normally, I'm not achieving good averages. Well, you're focusing a lot on the averages. Don't focus on the average. Just focus on the game. Focus on the enjoyment of playing darts. Step up to that hockey and enjoy doing what you're doing at the hockey. Don't focus on that average. Because the moment you start focusing on that average, it eats away at your game. It eats away at you. So try not to focus on the average. Just focus on enjoying and throwing the darts. And then, we get other ones like, I want to be able to, get my elbow higher. I want to make sure that my stance is right and all that. And, this is what we do. We help players with this. As I say, it's not just the young players we help. I've worked with players of all ages, abilities, and levels of the game. I've been privileged enough to work with a couple of players about a month or so ago who are, on the PDC development tool, challenge tour. I think it is one of them too, as well as a couple of the ladies players. So it's, we're trying. I'm trying to help as many players as I can with my knowledge and understanding of the game. I don't always say I'm right. I'm not Brian Clough. I'm not always saying I'm right, but I like to feel I can help players in their game in some way. And if that brings them on, happy days. So that's a good amount of waffle from me for this episode. Thank you very much for listening if you have done. Thanks for everyone who subscribed and listened to the previous episodes as well. Really appreciate it. Don't forget, you can follow us across social media. Just search for SWR Darts Coaching. We're on TikTok. Do try and post TikTok videos every week where we can. We want to get up to 1,000 followers so we can do a live. When we go live, we have got some prizes, got some interesting prizes for when we go live. We're on Facebook, as I say, we post a practice routine every week on Facebook. We're on the Instagram, we're on the Twitter. We aren't on the other one, and Twitter becoming X, I believe. But anyway, we aren't on the threads. We aren't on there yet. We're looking to sort that. And if you've got any other questions, obviously head over to my website, swrdartscoaching.co.uk. Drop your questions across on there. On there you can see all the practices. You can purchase the practice schedules, routines, as well as obviously book in for darts coaching with myself here in Stoke-on-Trent. So thank you very much for listening. Everyone, enjoy your darts and be safe at the hockey.